Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the zoning board for January 8th. Tonight we have two hearings. Before that, we'll go through the general business. We have I need a motion for the approval of the minutes of December 11th.
Done.
Motion by Mark. Is there a second? Second by John. All those in favor? Opposed? That's unanimous. Can you pass that down to Melissa, please?
This is too far away.
Okay, the first hearing for 605 is on the application of Ferrera. Are the people here for Ferrera? Well, come on up here, please. Okay, I'll read out the notice, and then we'll dive right into the hearing itself. So this is on the application of Regina Ferrera, did I pronounce that right? Regina Ferrera, 1 Esther Drive, Milford, for a special permit relief to section 2.3 of the zoning bylaw in relation to a parcel of land on the easterly side of Esther Drive, known and numbered as 1 Esther Drive, consisting of a 25,386 more or less square foot lot. The special permit relief is in order to permit the keeping of up to 5 residential dogs, I would believe, or animals, within the meaning of the zoning bylaw. So with that on the application, the applicant is looking at the aspects of Article 2, accessory use to allow the residential animals in the RC zoning district. Concerning the question that was explained, the reason they sought the special permit would be in harmony with the general purpose and intent of the bylaw. The applicant states, yes, because we came to my...
Attention.
I don't know what that word means.
Yeah. Came to my attention.
Came to my attention that the state of Massachusetts, if there is more than 3 dogs in a house, it must have the residential kennel license, anything beyond 3 dogs, which is absolutely true. Concerning the proposed use of the premise will not create undue traffic congestion or impair pedestrian safety. The applicant states because they're asking for the residential dog license because they have 5 dogs. They have a backyard that is all fenced in. Concerning that the premises will not cause harm to the neighborhood or create nuisance or hazards. Concerning affecting the health, safety, and general welfare of the public. The applicant states that the dogs have no bark collars on. So with that, and in the application, you will find a plot plan on that, and what I'll do is make a couple of comments concerning the aspects of that. So the town of Milford has a kennel bylaw, and it's been modified from probably in the last couple of years. So the law requires that if you have more than 3 dogs, that you must apply for a special permit through the zoning board, including the building department, and also authorized by the Board of Selectmen, that license has to be issued in order to have more than 3 dogs. Concerning that, there is a Article 42 of the Milford bylaws. There are probably 6 or 8 pages here. I'd like to give this to you, and you may have already gotten this. Have you gotten this at all?
I got some stuff in the mail. I'm not sure about all the 8 pages.
Yeah, so for the benefit of the public, the bylaw requires that the Animal Control Office, along with the Board of Health, they have to go into the property to inspect to make sure that the dogs are actually following the guidelines of what that license is issued. Concerning that, these are details of what they will be looking for. So irregardless, if you get something tonight, whether favorable or not favorable, if it is favorable, the Board of Health, the Animal Control Officer, and the Building Department will actually have to have access to go over everything to make sure that it's also safe for the animals. I'll give you this copy so that you have it.
It's just for the public. It's an annual inspection.
Yeah, it's annually, by the way, so it's yearly. And the reason for that is for the safety of not only residents, but also for the animals. In the folder, you will see a plot plan. I did take a drive by the property as well, and I understand it is fenced in. I have been told by a couple of people that the dogs do have, what are they called, bark collars?
Yeah.
Okay.
What exactly is a bark collar?
It gives them a shock when they bark and they completely stop barking.
It's like a little electric shock?
Yeah, it's electrical and also makes some noise if they bark.
Okay.
And I was recommended through I forgot his name, from the animal control. He's
Okay.
the one who told me that I was okay
Yeah.
to get those.
Okay.
It's a nice guy.
So before I turn it over to anybody that has interest or questions on the public, I'll go to board members if they have any questions. So currently, okay, so what, Dave, you have any questions concerning this?
No, not
John?
really. I don't, our bylaw
I just
clearly states everything.
noticed that the planning board suggested the dogs be spayed or neutered.
Well, let me read that so I can clarify it.
Let's put that out there.
So this did go in front of the planning board at their scheduled meeting on December 16th. The planning board made a favorable recommendation with consideration of the following. I'm sorry I don't agree with it, but that's just my personal opinion. No more than 5 dogs, that's their suggestion. I would say that this board would probably do the same if that comes to that case. They're suggesting that the dogs on site be spayed or neutered. I'm sorry. I am not going to tell Melissa she can't get pregnant. So I'm not going to do that to telling someone that they,
I can't believe you just said that.
well, you know what I mean. It's,
Oh, my
that
God.
Melissa,
that
suit
didn't
up,
make,
you're in.
it didn't make a lot of sense to me because now we're trying to dictate, that you can't have a litter of puppies.
We're only
and
on live TV.
it just-
I don't even know what
But
to
it
say.
also, if you do that, you can't keep the dogs there because it's in violation of the bylaw of whatever is decided. So with that, I'll bring it back over to Mark so I give you that clarity.
All right, one of my questions is she gonna go on maternity leave?
Well, then we're all in trouble.
Oh, my
The
God.
license indicates that you can have up to 6 with a kennel license. But our stipulation with the planning board would be 5.
I'm not going over 5. It's only my 5s. and
That's all I got.
When they die, they die.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I love them, but I end up finding out it's a lot of work with respect to the law.
Just if you don't have them spayed, and one doesn't get pregnant with another litter, because you adopted the litter from the ones you had, what are you gonna do if more show up?
Just
It's
gonna-
not happening.
Maybe there's made
It's,
it down.
it's not happening.
This is
I
getting
guarantee
better.
it's not happening.
She's got a
Wow.
short collar for that too.
So concerning the planning board,
Guarantee it'll not happen.
concerning the planning board's letter, I'll bring up to the point
Going
that,
downhill.
My house it's,
They have their own rooms?
there's first floor, basement, second floor. There's enough space for them to be separated. And it's only happened when I was traveling and I gave it to my friend to watch my,
one of the dogs got pregnant.
yes.
Okay.
Well, that was, leave the kids home alone.
No, it was not even in my house. I sent it to my friend to watch it for me, and it's not happening again.
So I'll just read the letter from the town planner. They asked for a special permit for the accessory use to allow the residential animals in the RC zoning district, and the proposed use will allow 5 dogs. Originally, the owner had 3, one of which gave birth to puppies. Most of the puppies were sold, but 2 stayed with the owners, totaling 5. The backyard is entirely fenced in, no additions are being proposed for the dwelling. The use meets all applicable zoning, therefore that's why they recommended it over to this board. With that, Bobby, you've got the floor.
I don't have anything yet.
Okay.
You have nothing to add to all this?
If anybody in the audience wants to be heard, please state your name, where, what street you're on, so we can answer or address any questions you may have. Oh, okay. Please, your name?
Sure. Sue Frederick, 30 Camp Street. You
Yes.
understand, or can I?
No, you can sit.
So I guess my concern, so we can hear their dogs in the nice weather, when our windows are open and the dogs are outside. That being said, that's not necessarily my concern, because we're far enough away that that's occasional. My concern is, if this is allowed, what is the precedence for that, right? Our neighbor next door has a dog. What is the precedence for our neighbor now to say, well, I want 4 more dogs, or the people? more people-
Same process.
Right, so I guess that's my concern, is the precedence to do this, and maybe some of the dogs are gonna be fine and not bark, and some of them aren't. So I guess I have a concern about precedence, and our ability to live in our house and then sell our
Right.
house.
And that's why we have,
Right.
they have to come here for a special permit, because each case could be different than the other. So that's why the bylaw was developed.
But I guess I'd argue, if I was looking, if my next door neighbor was looking for 5 dogs, I guess I would cite the fact that this owner was able to do it, so why can't I, kind of?
So after the public speaks, I'll make a comment concerning
Okay.
that. Anybody else? Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Lucia Zogby Copeland, and I live next door at 3 Esther Drive. And my experience has been very different. I have endured over a year of all day, off and on, high-pitched, loud barking that has really affected my quality of life in my home. I've been very unhappy. It has been really difficult for me to enjoy going outside of my home. And it has been really a very stressful situation. I've been extremely unhappy. The multiplied barking of all the dogs is, it's a lot.
So you said you live next door?
Yeah.
What number are you?
3.
You're number 3? Okay.
Was this before or after the bark collars? Is the bark collar something that you just did recently?
What happened is, we moved in last October, and we got the call from the animal control. They went over my house, they out there for 30 minutes, couldn't hurt that much barking, except if you approach the property back then. And he talked to me, and I stopped the application, but no one knew what to do. When 1 year went by, and then around Thanksgiving this year again, he got a call again. That's when he suggested to me to get the bark collar around Thanksgiving. And that's what I did. And our dog doesn't go all of them outside, because we have a plan. I spoke to Ken myself, and he's like, let 2 at a time. And he stopped by my property, and he said, I don't see that. Whatever's going on, I don't see myself.
So
So
is the
I-
bark collar always on? or-
Always on, night and day, always on. And you guys are more than welcome to come in my property anytime and see it.
Okay, so just to give you some clarity, the bylaw requires and calls that in the event that the barking is uncontrollable, complaints can be filed, and that's how the process goes with the complaints. So saying that, I don't know, I've spoken to a couple of residents on Esther Drive, actually a couple of doors down, indicated that they haven't heard any of the barking over the last couple of 3 months. So I don't know when this call went on,
The call went on around Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, because that's when Kim suggested me to get them. Because until then, I didn't know that I could put a collar on.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
when you, yeah.
Have you noticed an improvement?
So what happened is, this is not what, his last name is Hayes, the dog officer. So I'm the one who called him. I had called him originally to say that this is going on, can you please do something about it? So he went there and spoke to her, and let me know that he had spoken to her. They were home, the dogs would be out barking, nothing was done, they were out with the dogs. I would go down to my mailbox, and the dogs would go to the windows and be barking their heads off, so I couldn't walk around my yard without the dogs.
But they were in the house, they were in the house at that point,
They were in the house.
barking.
Barking at the window at me as I was in my yard, trying to enjoy my yard, walking down to my mailbox, or walking in my driveway with the dogs barking their heads off
Was this before or after Thanksgiving?
before.
Okay. How about
And
now?
then when he spoke to her, he called me back at Thanksgiving time and said that she let him know that she wasn't aware that they were doing this. When they were home, they would take them out in the yard and be physically with the dogs while they were barking. They would take them out in the yard to exercise them, and they would be, they're half husky, half German Shepherd.
Oh.
So they're big, and they bark like huskies, which they yelp, they howl. 5 of them.
But as Mark said, since Thanksgiving, have,
No, the last time I heard them was Christmas Eve, but now it's my responsibility to police this. I can't go on my deck without wondering, are they gonna be barking? And in addition, I wonder about the welfare of the dogs. 5 large dogs in a residential home. I mean, why does that bylaw exist? The home is supposed to be checked. And now it's my responsibility to wonder.
No one says it's your
Well, it's
responsibility.
going to be, because it has been so far, and we don't know if bark collars are always going to stay on. What happened was, he told her, you need to put the bark collars on. So at that point, they went on. Once she was told, they had to go on.
I drove by there today. Are you the one that has the big shed and the boat?
I'm
Okay.
right next door.
Okay.
Yep, and my yard, we're this close.
There's cameras in my house. You guys are more than welcome to come and see the welfare of the dogs. We are very financially.
Well, no matter
stable.
what happens, you're gonna be watched more in the event you get this, because there will be annual inspections for the wealth and safety of the dogs, along with the noise issue. So, because the neighbors clearly should not be up all day long, hearing barking all day long. That's a disturbance. That's a noise disturbance. So saying that, when you have 5 dogs, that is the critique of this. Now, in saying that, I'll give you what my opinion was gonna be. Because I've seen one complaint, but I'm hearing that now the dog collars are on, the barking out the window, maybe those windows need to be, shades need to be shut on that side of the house. But no matter what, if we were gonna go down this road to try and issue a special permit for the 5 dogs, my only recommendation to this board was gonna be for a year. That way there, it's under your control to make sure that your neighbors don't get noise complaints. So that's something that has to take responsibility from the owner. So that's why I'm making that comment.
well, you know, what, David, again, if we're gonna go down that road and issue this, I think a year is actually too long if the neighbors are hearing that noise now. I don't know what,
Sounds like it's kind of been resolved for the most part,
Right.
except for that one time during Christmas. I guess it would be one of those things that, I'm imagining, I'm not up to speed in this, a bark collar isn't used for the rest of your life, it's to train a dog.
This is a 15-year commitment.
You know, so eventually they get quiet, I would imagine, but who knows? But
And I have a question. We're going down that road. It's, he said, she said. I think if we're gonna go that road, we actually need to prove. I'm not like,
I have videos.
there's cameras over my house.
I have videos.
If y'all wanna do a complaint about my neighbor, I also have videos about my dog's neighbor not being the leash. And I have one from today that her dog ran after someone that was walking on the street with their dog. I have it over here. Like, I didn't wanna go that road, but if people actually have time
Do
to
you,
go
do you
that
have a
road-
dog?
I have 2 dogs.
You have 2 dogs,
And
okay.
they never in the leash. If I take my dog to walk in the street, they come running towards my dog to attack my dog. But I never complain because, I don't know, I come from a neighborhood that you don't complain about things. But if we're gonna go that road,
That's fine. I have plenty of videos that show your dogs barking.
All right, let's not belay the situation. Is there any other comments or questions?
I have a question.
Yeah,
So if the bylaw is 3 dogs, whether you grant it or not, like if the bylaw is 3 dogs, and since these other dogs were born, they've been in violation of this bylaw.
she was notified that she needed a kennel license, and that's why she's here. She didn't know.
Asking for it.
She didn't know.
yes, she is, that's what they're asking for.
That's what they're asking for.
A kennel- I thought she was asking for a
Domestic.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought she was asking for a variance, not a kennel.
No, kennel.
This, a special permit, any dogs over 3 requires a special permit.
Right.
Even if it was one more, they would still require a special permit.
And I guess my other question is more like process-wise, so they're also, how do neighbors get notified that this is happening? Is that the neighbor's responsibility to check?
Not, if you're further up on Camp Street, you would not get notified. It goes out to the direct abutters within 150, was it 150 feet or 300?
300.
300, on all sides.
That was just a process question.
Yeah,
I might have missed it. Has the animal control officer been over to your property?
yeah.
He came in my property last, around Thanksgiving, and I started the process back then, but no one knew what to do back then. And there's a records that I started, and then year went by, and he came again around Christmas, around Thanksgiving again, and he called me and he said like,
You got a complaint.
let me fix this for you, let's start this license, and he was a huge help, because like I didn't know where to go, where to start.
I can tell you that what you have in front of you and what I've given the board members, and if one of the people in the public want a copy of this, they can have it, but the requirements that you're gonna face are pretty substantial. It goes down to the temperature control, it goes down to food, water. They come in, they check it annually, and it goes through every single detail of what is required, including noise. So, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, she's got 2 dogs. Hopefully, they're registered with the town. I'm not sure if they are or they're not, but anybody that has dogs in this community, they need to be registered with the town's clerk's office.
Dave, does the state also inspect this?
The state,
Or just the
actually,
town?
the state, this bylaw, some of this, I believe, based on what I was told, was actually incorporated from some of the state guidelines. So what
I
happened?
don't think the state does any inspection.
No,
That's what
no.
you're asking.
No, the inspections, the approval process on this is the zoning board, along with the building department, and the inspection process is the Board of Health and the animal control officer.
Have you been contacted?
Annually,
Have you been contacted by the animal control officer?
no.
Should we not get a reading from him as to his concerns and?
Well,
I mean,
he actually
has to-
guided her of the
he
right
has-
way to go.
Well, I
That
understand,
was
but
on
it
Thanksgiving.
says that the Milford, under F, under section 2 personal kennel license, which by the way, there's a little bit of a, I see 2 different kennels here. One's a commercial or training kennel, and one's a personal kennel. There's not too many restrictions on a personal kennel, David, okay, on section 2. It then jumps to section 3, although, let me back up, in section 2, for personal kennels, it does say that the Milford Animal Control Officer shall inspect the facility before the personal license shall be issued. So, I haven't heard that the property has been inspected by the Animal Control Officer.
Yeah, I have nothing here.
No, we don't have anything.
Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, you were saying it's pretty stringent. Yes, it is. Under sections 3 on states the restrictions and requirements for a commercial kennel. So, once again, is that these commercial kennel restrictions, are they applicable to a personal kennel license?
What's the limit for it? We'll be reading.
2 separate things, so she's going for a personal.
She's going for the personal.
So
What-
these
what's the
commercial
limit-
kennel
what's the limit?
licenses do not
Is a
apply.
higher,
What's
is
the
a
limit of
higher
dogs on the commercial?
inspection process.
Commercial is like the doggy daycare.
Yeah,
Right.
that's much more,
That's
much more
stringent.
restrictive.
So it
yes.
doesn't apply to, you were saying earlier about, is gonna be restrictive, well.
Annually,
I don't think-
he's got to go in annually,
Well, once again, but they're not gonna abide by section 2 on,
which is the commercial,
correct,
yeah.
okay?
But it also is, Bobby was saying, on F, the animal control officer shall inspect the facility before the personal kennel license shall be issued or renewed.
Right.
So we are not issuing the license. We are giving a special permit if they want to have 5 dogs. That's all. We're not,
Yeah, we're not,
yeah,
yeah.
just,
So now if this goes through,
Goes to the select.
now it goes to the selectmen.
Correct, and then,
And
and
then
then
the
the animal control officer
Yes.
has
Yeah,
the full
we're-
authority on it.
we're-
So, is that then in perpetuity, so if they move tomorrow and somebody else buys one
No.
Hester?
Only to the applicant.
Only to
Right.
the applicant.
It's not, doesn't go with the property. Doesn't go to the, anybody else having a question? Yes, sir.
I got a comment or a question?
Whatever you
I
prefer.
live on Cricket Lane, I live up behind them. So I look down on them, you know, my property is down on the back of the people of Cricket, of Camp Street.
What's your name, sir?
Kevin Dorsey,
Kevin? Okay, thank you.
number 6 Cricket Lane.
Okay.
I never heard about these bark collars, this is all new to me tonight, but if she wasn't ordered to get them, I've listened to this all summer long. You come home in the afternoon, you sit down and relax, somebody comes home around 3 o'clock, they let all the dogs out. They've been cooped up all day, now they're running around like crazy. They were very noisy, very, very
Okay.
noisy. I'm not one to make the complaint, but they were very noisy.
All right.
I don't know how these things work, but.
Well,
I mean,
it's-
are they
it's-
handheld?
it's the
Is dog box
responsibility-
supposed to stop or something, or?
I guess that's what these callers do.
Well, another point is, if she wasn't
But
told
we're
to
talking
get,
about,
if she wasn't told to get the collars, would she get the, in other words?
well, she didn't know,
get the-
probably.
Well,
Right. She had 3 dogs then. So let me ask you a question. That was this past summer.
yes.
How has it been now?
It's cold out.
Well,
Well, the dogs still go out,
Sitting on
right.
the porch, my deck's in the backyard,
Yeah.
you know, so.
Because if her dogs barked, her dogs could be barking with someone walking by the house.
No, we could definitely tell, so I'm Susan Dorsey, I'm his wife. And we definitely could tell when things changed. When she moved in, it's like we said, oh, somebody's there with a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
And it's sustained barking for, and again, I probably wouldn't make a big deal about it if this didn't come about. But the sustained barking for a good amount of time, and then maybe in the morning, and then maybe in the afternoon. So there's times quiet too, but I had said, we're quite a ways from it,
Right.
but I wouldn't wanna live next door, because that would be,
Yeah.
that would be
Yeah,
hard.
just-
Okay. Thank you.
Are they service dogs?
They're not service dogs.
How many people in the house?
It's 4.
So everybody has a dog, is that it?
That doesn't
I
matter.
don't wanna get into my private family, but
Oh, I
there's
understand.
a lot. I
You don't have to
can't-
answer.
Are the dogs home alone during the
If there
day?
was a
No,
veteran living there and needed a service dog, I'd say
I-
have it.
I work 3 days in my office and 2 days at home, and my husband, we have our own company too. Most of the time, we have someone at home.
Yeah.
My daughter go to school and come home at 2:30, my other daughter go to her college and come home. It's always someone in and out.
So you just got 2 puppies, you said?
They're not puppies anymore, but they 1 year,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Tony Shirelli, I live at 4 Cricket Lane, so same thing, we're above and behind. The noise, I think, has been established by different people at different levels. One of the things that I know, because I've had dogs, and the bark collars are limited in their effectiveness to different kinds of breeds, so they might slow it down, but eventually the dogs, sometimes dogs, like the privacy fences work the same way. They get a little shocked to tell them don't cross that line, but once they figure out it's only a little shock and they cross the line, they'll learn to endure it. So some dogs will get past the bark collars. What I'm saying to you is it's not a fail-safe solution for every dog. So to say, I've got bark collars now, I've solved the problem, it's not, it's, with all due respect, it's not in her control to solve that problem, because the bark collars aren't always effective. I just wanna put that perspective out there for you guys, as far as if you were to go down a particular road because she had a litter, she's got 5 dogs, there's gotta be some kind of oversight. To your point, sir, I'd like it to see more frequent opportunities of inspections, and then some kind of a recourse, that if things don't get changed because of, then it gets withdrawn, or something along those lines. It has to be a control, especially
I
for the
agree.
neighbors next door.
No, I agree.
That comes up a lot more frequency,
Mhm.
frequently rather. That would be my input on the whole thing.
And the other woman's point about precedent is also something to consider.
I just have a question for Timeline, I'm sorry. So, if you lived there since October and you moved in with 3 dogs and then they had a litter, because if the dogs are a year old, I'm just trying to,
There were 5 dogs that
I'm just trying to establish, like, when they moved in, was there 3 and then there was a litter?
I think what
No,
she,
when we moved in, it was 5 dogs.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to follow.
The dog was born in June.
Okay, so,
When I moved in, because I have multiple properties in Milford. When I moved from my other property, I had the 5 dogs already.
Illegally.
Yes, and they are registered in Milford.
And they're
I
registered,
just didn't know about
the kennel issue.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. If you got 5 dogs licensed, all 5 are licensed?
They all registered.
Nobody picked up on this?
They
at
are
the town hall?
now, they weren't back then.
Well, she said they're licensed,
They all licensed.
so why didn't
Since they
somebody at the
bark.
town hall pick up that's the same address as 5
Well,
dogs?
I checked at the town clerk's office, and I've been told there is 4 licensed. Maggie, Milo, Luna, and Simba.
Yeah.
With who's-
Toby. There's
Yeah,
Toby.
different
Toby,
license,
is
different
Toby
Yeah.
registered?
All of them are registered.
All at the same address?
All
So that's when you were told that you needed to get a license because you're over the 3,
Yes,
when you realized it was over the 3.
yes.
Okay.
And the other ones, I didn't sell them. I donate them. I let them go because I don't sell dogs. And unfortunately, this one stays and time went by and now they became a part of the family.
And how many family members do you have?
4.
4.
4.
I just want to clarify, so it's my husband, Neil, so we and my children have spent the last year enduring this illegal action because there were 5 dogs there.
You have no idea how much illegal action goes on in this town.
But this has affected us. My children's bedrooms are on her side and have been woken up. And my husband and I work in healthcare, and we get up, I work in public schools, he works in hospitals. We both work with disabled individuals, and we wake up early in the morning, and our bedroom's on the far side from her house, and we get woken up by the barking dogs. I mean, this has seriously affected our quality of life, and
Well, it
on
becomes,
top of
it
that,
becomes an issue.
we have paid a pretty penny for our home, and now we're looking at possible, if we go to sell our home, and someone wants to buy it, and then they look over, and you can see 5 dogs, and if someone comes to look at the house or something, and then they find out there's approval for 5 dogs next door. I mean, what kind of, even if those 5 dogs are quiet on the visit, I don't know, it just seems like
Well, again,
there's no protection
there's a
for
bylaw,
us.
there's a noise bylaw, and that's why you're here. You're basically, and that's what we're trying to do, is to get a handle on, has anything been corrected or better since the bark collars went on? Now, and I get it, I have a dog too, and the only time she barks is when she defends me. So, and that's a lot.
I have a question with
That little
respect to
thing?
barking. When you say bark, we're talking about a couple of minutes or we're talking about anything?
Constant,
Prolonged.
Constant for
pro-
hours.
prolonged.
That's, yeah.
Prolonged.
that's-
And if they can hear it on the other side, on Cricket Lane, that's not good. That's just not good. It's not a peaceful surrounding for your neighbors.
30 Camp Street
So-
is 300 feet.
Way down Camp Street.
So 30 Camp can hear it, not in the winter when our fan is going from the wood stove and our windows are closed and stuff like that.
Wintertime.
But in the time when the windows are open and you're outside in the backyard, 30 Camp can hear it.
Yeah, yeah. Any other comments? Anybody else want to make a comment? Board members, why don't we openly discuss what the thoughts are?
My thought is, personally, I'm not a big fan of bark collars, but they're a necessary evil in some situations. Additionally, in close quarter neighborhoods, 5 dogs is a lot. Whether the law says we can allow this or not, it's still a lot. That's my personal opinion, and I'm sorry, but I love dogs. But 5's a lot. That's my personal opinion.
No? Bob?
No, I'm all set.
Dave?
I wish we were more educated on if the problem has been solved and if it will be solved. And I think maybe, is there a way to grant like a shorter amount of time?
Well, I'm even, I don't know if I should be having a conversation with the animal control officer, but again, if the thing has been basically, the situation has been helpful with the bark collars, and I know it's winter. The dogs don't go out. I think the other corrective action is that the dogs can't be barking out a window, the shade's gotta be pulled. You know, that's a comment that's, and again, maybe you don't understand that constant barking is a negative to neighbors. They don't need to be living constantly with the barking, all afternoon or an evening. In the summer, apparently, based on what Mr. Chiarelli said, it was pretty upsetting to be hearing that all day long. So now you're saying that the barking collars are going on. Listen, this board tries to help and work with people in the community, and I make that strong suggestion with neighbors as well. So, you know, when I thought about this, and I went by the house, and I spoke to a couple of people on Esther Drive, and it was indicated that, and they weren't far from you, they were across the street or a couple of doors down, and they said, we don't hear a lot of barking. Dogs are gonna bark during the day at a squirrel or a neighbor or someone going by the house. That I get. For us to consider going down this road and doing any type of authorization, it would have to be on a short period of time to prove that you've got it under control, or it will be revoked. So that's where I am, because neighbors should not be sitting there next door and hearing barking all day long. I wouldn't want that.
Well, how can we get the animal control officer to monitor this situation?
Can we give
Because-
them a more frequent right of entry?
Well, I can tell you right now, I'm not gonna grant a 1-year license. I'm listening to the neighbors. I love dogs. I've had dogs all my life. But barking dogs is a nuisance. It is. But you know, I don't know if us as a board can say we're gonna give a 3-month temporary license, because again, they've had the dog for, you know, the younger ones for over a year now, and I wouldn't wanna get rid of my dogs if that was the case, but.
You got family members that get attached, and I get,
Absolutely,
I get
and
that.
I'm not
And
gonna
that's
sit
why
here-
it behooves the applicant to work with this and control it. And if it's not controllable,
But that's
they
what I'm
can't
saying.
have
And you're
5
back in the
dogs.
same
Can we,
situation.
can we grant, like, I'm just putting it out there, a 3-month temporary, so they don't have to do anything with the dog, but everybody has to come back in and the dog,
That's a
animal
good
control
question for
officer,
council.
I don't know.
That's a
With
good
proof
question
as
for
well.
Jerry.
I mean, obviously, you'd want some proof, some video.
3 or 6 months only,
I don't know if we
and
can,
see if it proves, and if it doesn't, we can terminate it.
or can
What if
we,
it doesn't work out in 3 months? What are you guys gonna do?
Well, the
Well,
neighbors,
because it's only 3 months, and then she's gonna be forced to go down to 3 dogs.
And also, what's gonna be the proof? Because he said, I think,
probably some video or something that can capture the noise.
Recording of times and,
but also recapturing the noise for how long? Because let's say if the dog just barked once, and
No,
he
that
doesn't
wouldn't-
bark for 10
Yeah,
minutes.
It would have to be a nuisance. It would have to be
No.
for a prolonged period of time where people can't sleep.
she's gonna check with town council.
hold on, we got one more question.
Go ahead.
One more question.
I think it's a good idea that monitoring it like that, but a difference between January, February, and March, world of difference. April,
Versus
May,
the
June,
summer, yeah, I get it.
You
Oh,
know,
I
the
get it.
Dogs are gonna be outside twice
Yep,
as long.
yep, I get it.
Well,
If I think I have a complaint, but if I had a complaint, they are a pain. Can I have the dog guy come and sit on my deck and listen?
Yes,
In
absolutely.
other words, I'll call him and say, look, you're welcome to come on my property,
Yep.
come sit on my deck.
Yep.
And then you can sit here and you can determine, you can, you know,
Well, we can also give it for a year. It's always
Right.
You can always revoke it. You can have the complaint and it can be revocable, so.
Is it?
Yeah, that's why we're checking with legal now. Go ahead, Tony.
What comes to mind, and this is all good discussion, is that what ultimately is happening in a consideration of a short-term or overly monitored thing is you're putting the burden of proof on all the neighbors that are being potentially impacted by this to catch the dogs in the act versus letting them just live in their houses in peace.
Well,
So now You could, like you said, I'm gonna get the dog officer to come sit on my deck. Well,
If
he's
it's a-
gonna sit
if
on
it's
my
a-
You
deck.
can have one dog and they could be barking all day long.
Right, even,
Yeah.
You know what I
even
mean?
with, even
And
with
that,
three
and that
dogs.
actually happens.
That's true.
Right.
You could have one dog, not five.
Yeah.
You can have,
Yeah.
out of these 5 dogs, you got 2 of them that don't get along, they can bark.
Right, but no one's, I'm not down here for.
But
for
again, the
my
bylaw, the bylaw dictates that the neighbors can call in, you write it down. It doesn't need to be, as far as I'm concerned, someone can put a phone out the window to hear the barking, but, to write it down, you get 3 or 4 or 5 of these, it's time. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's not 15 or 20. When it's consistent like that, and 4 or 5 neighbors have to call 2 or 3 times, it's over. It's over.
Okay, so that works, because.
You know what I mean?
To your point of like, we gotta come in here with videos or tapes and stuff,
Yeah.
that puts a lot of burden of proof on the neighbors that are being impacted. Personally, I don't think that's fair.
Right.
But to your point, that if the complaints are now being logged in, that you've now got.
Well,
records.
that's the important part of, because otherwise it won't work.
Has anybody ever
If
called the
we're
police on
talking
the
about-
noise?
If we're talking about
No, they're
being
supposed to call
careless,
animal control.
I know they are, but I'm asking.
The neighbor call and complain, and if no one comes, the animal control doesn't come and see it, let's say if you have 5, 6 neighbors that doesn't like you. If we're
There's
talking
gonna
about
be-
fairness.
That's, well,
Again,
that's part of
it's
the reason
all-
why it's nice if you guys, if it's truly a nuisance, it would help to actually have some kind of video, some kind of proof.
And I have
It just,
over
it
20
bolsters your
videos
argument.
With the dogs barking off and on throughout the day,
What are the times that they bark usually, if you had a guess? You took the videos.
all differently.
Right.
6:30
Mhm.
AM, all throughout, more in the warmer weather,
Right.
but all throughout the day.
Yeah.
So I don't work over the summer because I work in public schools.
Right.
So I would want to go out,
Yeah.
enjoy my deck,
Right.
go outside.
Yeah, you should be able to have your quiet time along with every other neighbor too. So, and again, this is a balancing act for this board because, we are now hearing this, but we also understand the process of what has occurred prior to the bark collars. So, again, you don't want to lose your dog if you've got family members, and I get it. And I don't want her to be getting rid of dogs, but if it comes to that, she may have to. So, yes,
Okay.
3 months, 4 months,
3 months,
5 months?
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
okay,
I think,
whatever time, set a date
yeah, okay.
already,
Yeah.
let the abutters
Yes.
know, and then they can come back and readdress it.
All right, so
So we're
this board tries to do things fairly and taking into consideration the abutters and the neighbors, and I get it. I clearly would not be wanting to be living next to something that's barking all day long or at night. It's not warranted.
I'm gonna make it easy so I don't just keep talking about it, because we all understand everybody's aspect, because we're all dog owners, animal owners. I am gonna make a motion that we grant a temporary 6-month, so we could get some summer months into this, and then this has to be revisited at this board again.
Well, it'll expire. The
Yep.
license will expire in 6 months, so let's go down that road if the board members even
Again,
want to support it. The license ends up lapsing, or it's up to the animal control officer, along with the building department, and again, the Board of Health's involved in all of this too, that they will not issue you any extension beyond the 6 months. So it gives you an opportunity to see if you can work this through, but it also gives the neighbors an opportunity to be able to be heard and not be able to live with barking all day long. So we're trying, with that motion, is not letting you get rid of 2 brand-new little puppies that your family probably loves, but also understanding it, you need to be able to control the barking. If you think you cannot do that, then you've got the 6 months to kind of get that under control. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So the motion on the table, and there's a motion, so I want to be able, any more discussion concerning this?
No, we can't.
Because the motion is now brought in for a 6-month temporary to see how it works. It's up to all of us to make sure that your lives are peaceful.
So just so, so I understand that, I guess I was a dog owner too. Giving up a dog 6 more months from now, when I'm 6 more months detached, is gonna be even harder. But the ask of the neighbors, who we don't know these, we know Copeland's, we don't know the people on Cricket Lane, so this is not a vigilante kind of thing, is.
No, clearly, the dogs,
If we hear barking, our task is to make sure we, instead of just trying to ignore it and just say,
Yeah.
well, it'll stop, blah, 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 our task is to.
and it wouldn't be a bad idea to communicate with each other's on both sides, so that you can at least talk with each other and say, oh, did you hear the dog at 2 o'clock this morning? Record it, document it, because we want to be able to, if that license doesn't get renewed after 6 months, it's because of things were not corrected.
And is there a chance for that license to be revoked before the 6 months?
It's only good for 6 months.
But what happens if the neighborhood, if it's April and the dogs are incessantly barking, that's still within the 6?
That's
Right.
within the
It's
6 months,
6
but it'll
months.
lapse. But you'll be calling the complaints, the animal control officer
Right.
will be there. Yes,
But I
Ben?
think our question is, can it then be revoked if it's technically violating the parameters of it? No, so that if the dogs can bark their silly heads off for April, May, and June.
Well, I think that's the thing that we probably need to have the animal control officer have the right to revoke it
Yeah.
prior to 6 months in the event of constant complaints of dog barking.
Can I ask?
I don't know, I don't know if we
ask you a
can.
I don't know if we can, but
Can I ask? I can.
No.
I can't.
Okay, you can't. All right.
Again, I'm trying to, my 6 month was listening to you guys saying, you know, 3 months is winter time. And, yeah, I'm not gonna say 4 months, okay, we'll give it to April and then, no. So my motion on the floor is 6 months and it has to be revisited. And
Well,
I'm sorry, but there's no more questions,
Well,
please.
it won't be revisited, because what's gonna happen is they would have to reapply. She
Well,
would
that's what I'm
have-
saying. They have to
And that's
come
gonna be
back.
under the control of the building commissioner and the
Yep.
Milford Animal Control. So those are the 2 calls you make for those complaints. That way there, we're addressing an issue now that she wasn't aware of concerning the amount of dogs that you can have. If I could have 6 dogs, I'd probably commit suicide, but that's rather here or there. So there's a motion for the special permit for not to exceed 5
5
dogs
dogs.
for 6 months from this date. Is there a second?
I second.
Seconded by Dave. All those in favor? Three in favor, 2 opposed? Didn't pass. So you won't be getting the license. So you're gonna have to make a determination that where those dogs are gonna go.
Sorry, but 5 dogs in the neighborhoods. And I love dogs. I'm just sorry.
So
I really
you
am.
needed 4 out of the 5 votes.
I really am,
You
sir.
only got 3.
4 neighbors, all with the same complaint, 2 consistent. And I am sorry. Trust me, from the bottom of my heart, I am sorry.
Yeah, I think we all are, but apparently there's been stuff going on here that we were not aware of. So with that, that decision is made. It has been denied. You're all set. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
First, I wanna cry.
Thank you, everybody.
I
Thank
actually
you.
wanna cry.
Thank you.
I feel bad.
I feel bad too.
I feel
but-
terrible, but it's, again, we,
The attachment aspect of it's awful.
yep,
We have a dog game.
yep.
Okay. Next hearing,
Thank you so much.
I'm all set.
Let's just deny him and go home. Let's deny
I
Ernie.
don't wanna give you.
Ernie, I don't think, we don't,
you can give it, you can bring it up.
Yeah.
hang on to him.
Don't
This
worry.
is on the application of Home National Realty Corporation, 8 Uxbridge Road, Mendon, to amend the variance which was previously issued under the date of August 8, 2025, in relation to a parcel of land consisting of 93,000 square feet more or less, located on the northerly side of Medway Road, known and numbered as 100 Medway Road. The amendment is sought for reasons of an erroneous reference in the previously issued variance, which transposed the frontage and width dimensions of the commercial lot. In that earlier decision, both lot width and frontage are described in error by being 206.26 feet, and the amendment to the earlier variance is sought in order to correct the erroneous reference on the record. With that, just give you a quick overview, because it did go to the planning board. Planning board did review this, made a favorable recommendation. Planning board indicates that the applicant requests a modification of the variance issued on August 25 to allow for the creation of the building lot that was previously leased parcel configuring that the currently constitutes Lot 95C. Specifically, the proposal was to establish a separate lot to accommodate the sale of the Roman Catholic Bishop of Worcester's of the bank building property, which is currently situated on the land leased parcel of 100 Medway Road. The lease parcel was established from the larger Sacred Heart Cemetery property in 1985. To align the property boundaries and the actual physical location of the developed bank building site, the IB zoning district lot width and frontage variances will be required, hence the former application. The proposed lot frontage is 194 and 230 is required. The proposed lot width is 206.26 and 250 is required. Unfortunately, the number of the frontage was erroneously labeled the same as the width and should be labeled 194. This is a corrective application by the applicant, therefore they recommend that a favorable report be sent off to the zoning board. With
I
that,
make a
Attorney
motion.
Petnari?
And that has been corrected, correct, Attorney Petnari?
Well, okay, let me
Yeah.
just revamp that. There hasn't really been any correction, because what I came before you in the summer to do is the same thing I'm doing tonight. The lot line on the variance plan is in exactly the same position. The problem was that through all the eyes of all the geniuses that looked at this, mine only included, we mistook frontage for width. And that got written into the variance decision. And because of that, we now have a lot that does not conform to the plan that we presented to the board and which was approved.
Because it got reconfigured.
Because it added 12 feet. And the reality is that we toyed with a variety of ways to solve this, but because this is such a sensitive thing, and because the Bishop of Worcester is selling this particular parcel, and it's a lucrative sale, they wanted to make sure that all the Ts were crossed and all the Is were dotted. So we're here tonight just simply to seek the correction of what was really a typographical error. Whether I made it, Jerry made it, we don't know who made it. But yeah, it's a typo.
I thought that we did that last time.
Well,
It's just,
We approved it.
it was.
Okay.
it
We
was
approved it, but with the
written wrong.
frontage and the width,
Yeah,
when the
it was
decision
reversed.
was issued,
Oh, okay.
it was
Yeah.
flipped.
Exactly right. Tom.
Twisted, okay.
There's nothing new in
Right.
what we're doing tonight to what we did in the summertime. But we have to get this done so that it's all,
And legally, you can record it.
well, it's already been recorded, which complicates it, because I recorded it.
So now what do you have to do?
Unrecorded.
We just, no, we just
We gotta do
have to-
amendment.
We just have to
Amend it?
correct.
You call the
Now,
bishop, and the bishop pulls a string and you get it fixed.
the last thing I want to make sure I say to you, and Jerry knows about this, because I talked to Jerry ad infinitum. Worcester Council for the Bishop of Worcester has prepared this document. This document is purporting to be findings of fact, which the zoning board might choose to adopt. Jerry has seen that. He reviewed that today, because I got it early this morning. Jerry has seen it, he's reviewed it today. His opinion on it is that there's nothing in there that is different from what I'm saying to you tonight, or what his impression is. He may want to change some of the language, but he told me tonight before I came here that I could represent to you that he will adopt what they're doing, assuming this board votes favorably to grant the correction. I just want to say one more time for the record, we're here to fix a mistake. We're not here to change
Change
any
anything.
substance at
Right.
all.
Okay?
I'm done.
All right.
Make- Second.
Second.
All right, all right, so besides the modification of the amendment, motion to approve, there's also the amendment and restated decision that has been handed to me, which I need to have authorization from the board for me to sign in the event Jerry needs to change anything.
Okay, but I think you need to let Jerry write the decision because.
Based on this.
Because
Yeah.
there's things in there like he doesn't know who you people are.
Right.
So he puts in zoning members present.
Right.
So.
We'll
I
take
think
care
you
of
need to
that.
let Jerry do that.
Yep.
And then he'll sign his own decision. But I'm just giving you that because I want to make sure that I represent to you everything that I've done with everyone that I've done it with over the last 6 weeks.
And the plan's correct,
The plan is exactly
so
correct.
we don't have to worry about that?
No.
You want me to sign this?
I don't think you have to.
right.
I think
Because I signed the other plan.
I think the plan, but you signed
plan-
the right plan. You
right.
signed
Correct.
the plan.
Yes.
It's just,
Yeah, it's just a transcription of the frontage and
Yes.
width.
Before.
You're on TV, you're on TV.
Okay.
Let's vote. Motion?
we already have second. All those in
Who made the
favor?
motion? Oh, you
Motion,
did?
second.
Motion to approve as amended.
And John seconded.
John seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous of 5. With that, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, seconded by Mark. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for
Aye.
joining us. Good night.